Steve has lots of different pieces of tech that he can use throughout the match, but one of the most underdeveloped yet insanely useful pieces of tech are his turnaround block cancel and phantom block reverse, both of which we will be referring to as TBC and PBR respectively. Both of these techs allow for Steve to turn around in midair, which may seem like a simple thing to do at first, but this turnaround allows for a much wider array of potential in neutral, advantage, and disadvantage. Today we'll be going over how to input both of these techs, their various uses, and the best ways to use them. Now let's go over the similarities and differences between these two pieces of tech. TBC stands for turnaround block cancel, and what this does is that at any point you can turn around and attack instantly afterwards. PBR stands for phantom block reverse, and what this does is that after the end lag of a move, Steve will turn around like this. The main caveats for these moves is that with TBC you're forced to do an attack no matter what, and with PBR you can only do it after the end lag of a move. Now I personally believe that TBC is superior in pretty much every way to PBR, but I'll be sure to explain both to you so you can see which one feels better for you. With that out of the way, let's start off with TBC. Now before anything else, I would very highly recommend setting a shoulder button to special in order to do this tech consistently. I use a Pro Controller, but this can be done with the GameCube controller as well. It may be a bit weird to adjust, but I promise you, after today you'll realize it is worth the time. Now let's look here. Right here, Steve is facing to the right. In order to input TBC, what you need to do is, while airborne, flick the opposite direction that you're facing, in this case left, and then, within 8 frames, press B. Doing it from frames 1 through 8 means that you'll turn around. Frame 9, however, you don't, so it's a very lenient window. Now here's a bit of a confusing thing. Steve's block frame data changes between whether or not he is rising or falling. When he's rising, Steve's block comes out on frame 6. When he's falling, Steve's block comes out on frame 4. I don't know why they coded it like this, but that's just how it is. Now you can cancel the block place animation into an attack, which is why the tech works. But you have 5 frames to cancel when rising, and 3 frames to cancel when landing. As a general rule of thumb, always do it within 3 frames just to be precise. This is also why I recommend having a shoulder button set to special, as turning around with the B button to do an aerial, regardless of what controller you're using, is difficult to do. When I do a TBC, this is what it looks like on my controller. My hand goes from the move stick to flick the controller, my finger presses the special button on the back of my controller, then my thumb instantly inputs the aerial whichever direction I want. The biggest mistake some people make trying to TBC is that they input minecart, which happens when they hold the opposite direction for too long and end up pressing B as the direction is being held. Getting the flick instead of the hold when pressing the direction is very important, so be sure to practice this and get consistent. Once you get it down, you can do this at any point that you want, with any aerial, but how exactly can we use this in a real match? Well, one of the big obvious ones is going to be combos. Whenever you're ending an up tilt ladder combo, you can end it with the back air instead of forward air, which adds a little bit extra knockback. What's important to note is that with up tilt, you have a much easier time doing DI in the opposite direction that Steve is facing than forwards. This becomes flipped when doing up airs, as doing DI in the direction Steve is facing is much more effective than behind. As such, when aiming for combos with up tilt and up air, players may tend to DI away from you, which while yes, you can combo it with forward air, using TBC back air will make it kill much earlier. Ever hit an up tilt at ledge? Normally you can do up smash or forward air, but with TBC you can do turnaround back air and once again get a kill off of it. Same goes for jab combos. Normally you can do jab into forward air off stage, but by using TBC you can do jab into back air, and with diamond tools it is even stronger than Roy's jab into back air combo. Now TBC isn't just for back air, it can even be used with other aerials as well. Here we have Steve starting a combo on the right side of the stage. Here he is comboing the Steve to the left. Now do you remember when I said that you aren't able to DI up air behind Steve too well? Well, if we start the combo and convert into a TBC up air to turn Steve around, it forces their DI to go back to the other side of the stage, which lets you get a kill. Now let's look at this one. Here, we hit Byleth out of shield with the sword back air. Now normally the combo would continue with back air, but what if we said that's not the best option? Here, we can actually do TBC forward air to start a pick loop to get more damage and send the Byleth off stage. And for a little bit of extra flash, we can combo the down air into a TBC back air for a kill. The number one most common setup is doing minecart into TBC back air. Now at lower percents, minecart raw may be a better combo to with forward air or up air as it sets up more damage. But at kill percent, minecart into back air not only covers multiple options, but can be comboed into itself to get kills extremely early. Now, don't always spam this option, but it is really good to use from time to time. Outside of minecart, down air, TBC bear is super good for kills, as well as using it out of certain pieces of movements. Build a wall, TBC back air. Dropping from a platform, TBC back air. Someone is hugging the stage while recovering, TBC fair. The possibilities of this tech are infinite, and they're only limited to your imagination. Here, I'll showcase a bunch of different combo routes and setups that utilize TBC. Now let's go over PBR, and as a quick reminder, PBR stands for Phantom Block Reverse. The main benefits that you would find from using PBR is that you don't really need to change any button layouts on your controller to input it, and it does have a bigger window to input. Now let's learn how to do it. Here I'll do a sword forward air. Now what you want to do is press B and then flick the move stick in the opposite direction within the last 8 frames of the move. Basically a B reverse input. If done at the right time, you'll turn around like so. The key thing here is that you need to time the B reverse press during the end lag and not any later. If done too late, you might place a block, and too early, you won't turn around. However, the timing is still consistent with enough practice. The main thing to keep track of is that for most moves, you can only PBR after the end lag of an attack, with few exceptions. For example, if I try to do PBR after an up air, it won't work, but if I hit Kirby with it, it will work, so keep that in mind. The main differences between PBR and TBC to keep note of is that with PBR, you need to be in end lag. However, you are not forced to attack, so you can stay turned around as long as you need. Also, you'll still be able to do the same combos as TBC that I showcased earlier, so you can refer to those when doing PBR combos. It's for these reasons why I feel as though PBR is not as worthwhile to learn when compared to TBC, but there are some cool things that PBR can do that TBC cannot. So, there's this cool trick you can do with PBR that boosts momentum. Roll to ledge and then jump, place a block. Immediately down and afterwards. Grab ledge and then in the middle of your jump, input PBR from ledge by pressing B in the opposite direction you're facing. And if done correctly, you'll boost your momentum. You can do an attack with this which can catch people off guard, and this can also be done without the setup just to turn it around as well. Likewise, you'll probably never do this, but Steve's jump squat is 3 frames. If within those 3 frames after you jump, you press B and in the opposite direction, you can PBR from the ground. One of those inputs will need to be exactly 1 frame, and the other one a 1 to 2 frame window, but hey, it's possible. Anyway, to end out this video, I'll showcase a few more TBC/PBR combos that you can start implementing in your game plan right away. And yeah, hopefully you're able to find this guide helpful. If you have any other questions, feel free to comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. With that all said and done, I hope you all enjoyed.